Hello students, how are you? We missed you. I hope you are safe, staying home and safe. This is Dr. Ismail teaching EL-120, sections E202, 501, 206, and 208. As you see, we are passing through hard times nowadays, and everybody is home, and we are trying to do our best to teach you online, and I hope you get the most benefit of this. Today, I'll present to you 3 units, Unit 4, Unit 5, and Unit 6, which are included in the midterm exam. And I want you to watch this and take notes maybe, and have your book with you, please, ready, because as we do in class, we'll follow page by page. Okay, we'll start with Unit 4. Remember, in Unit 3, we described consonants, how, how they are produced and classified, and their description. And today we'll focus on the classification of vowels in English. So please open your book on page 41, Unit 4, Phonetics 3. And it's a very short unit, but we need, as you know, a lot of practice, as always. The more we practice, the easier. And we do a lot of exercises and activities as well. Remember, in the description of consonants, we said we have some kind of narrowing or stricture of the air stream coming out of the vocal tract. But in the case of vowels, no such stricture or narrowing is allowed. So all vowels are produced with quality of sound that is complete, no complete closure and so forth. It's enough, like open enough to produce and allow the air to pass through. And vowels are commonly, like in general, are voiced. Remember, in consonants, some sounds are voiced, some consonants are unvoiced or voiceless, but all vowels are voiced. And another description or classification or defining feature of vowel is the vowel makes the nucleus of a syllable. Syllable is the sound unit. In Arabic, we say maqta sawti. And the nucleus means the core or the heart of it. The word nucleus. So the vowel is the nucleus of the syllable. Syllable. Maqta sawti. And the adjective is syllabic. We say syllabic. Syllabic feature, syllabic structure, etc. Okay, so these are 3 defining features of vowels at the end of page 41. Now on page 42, we said we have 5 vowel letters, right? But how many vowel sounds? Anybody? You said 20? That's correct. 20 vowel sounds. 20 sounds. Remember, we said a phoneme is a significant sound. Means if we change a sound in a word and replace it by another sound, if the word changes and the meaning changes, we call it a phoneme or a significant sound. That's at the top of page 42. So from 5 vowel letters, we get in English 20 vowel sounds. How? The question is how. Look, first let's look at the table on page 42, the top table. Let's see the significant sounds in the examples. We had those in previous unit, in Unit 3 as well. Number 1, hit. So E, hit. So E is a phoneme, significant sound. A, hat. E, heat. Hot, ah, as in hot. Ah, as in hot. And as in hurt. Remember, we are using RP pronunciation in this course. What's RP for again? RP, the received, as we said, the received. And P for pronunciation. Received pronunciation refers to a standard British dialect used in the media and the BBC and so forth. And the sounds used here in our course are RP sounds. As I told you before, we have the list on page 2, the phonetic symbols, consonants and vowels. So as we see in these examples in this table, all of them are phonemes. So phoneme is a significant sound. So I ask you a question: how can 5 letters, like vowel letters, be 20 vowel phonemes, significant sounds? We answered this by saying that a vowel could be pronounced in different ways, right, depending on the context in which it is used, or it could be combined with other vowel sounds to make different vowel sounds. So there are 2 ways. Let's look at an example at the end of page 42 for the letter U. It can have, as you see in the table at the end of page 42, 6 vowel sounds, phonemes. Number 1 as in hot, Y as in unit, 3 we call this schwa, remember, upon. 4 as in urgent, the letter U. 5 U as in full, it's U, full. And in 6 it's U, junior. So hot, unit, upon, urgent, full, junior. So 6 different sounds for the vowel letter U in English. Now, with combination of other vowels, we have also different vowel sounds. You can check on page 43, please, at the top, the table at the top. Okay, for instance, the letter O combines with other vowel sounds. So O and O as in foot, we get ut, foot. O and O in food, oo, food. Number 3, O and O in door, aw. Okay, O also combines with the letter U in 4, number 4. We get a diphthong sound called ow, founder. 5, O and U, also different, 4. O and U in 6, oo, as in soup. In 7, O and U, we get or ua, sorry. Tourism in British English. O combines with the letter A as in road, O, road, and this is British. Road is American. In number 9, we have O and A again, but it is aw, board. O combines with the letter I as in 10, oil, oi, diphthong. We'll see this later on in the unit. In number 11, oi also, the letter O and the letter I, quoi, it is originally French, coiffeur. Okay, so what does this show us? It shows us that the vowel letter may have different pronunciations, right? And the same combination of 2 vowel letters, as we saw here, O and U, may have different pronunciations as well. Now, we are still on page 43, classes of vowel sound. Here we'll see how vowels are produced and how they can be described and how they can be also commonly classified. You'll see the IPA chart, as I told you, on page 2. IPA, again, we had this before. IPA, what does it stand for? I for international, P for phonetic, and A for association or alphabet, International Phonetic Association or International Phonetic Alphabet, which shows all the sounds of human languages in the world represented in this chart. And the one on page 2 refers to the IPA chart as used in RP pronunciation. On page 44, you will see the like two chart for long RP English sounds, short and long RP English sounds on page 44 at the top. This chart represents the tongue, the parts of the tongue involved in the production of vowel sounds, and we'll discuss this in a minute, like the height of the tongue and the position of the tongue and the shape of the tongue, okay? So the tongue may be like, we can, just for convenience of description, we say in the left-hand chart at the top, the front part of the tongue, and then the middle, and then the back involved. Also, we check the high part of the tongue, the middle part of the tongue, and the low part of the tongue. And this chart shows the most important vowel sounds in English. And this is a representation of the what is called primary vowels in English, okay? Usually vowels are produced in a relatively small area of the mouth. The tongue and the lips, of course, play very important role in producing vowel sounds. Okay. Now the tongue may be further in the front or the back or the center, as we say, the front part of the tongue or the central part of the tongue or the back part of the tongue involved in the production of a certain sound. The tongue may be, as we said, the high part very close to the roof or very low, open, okay, very close to the roof, we call it close, and then very low, it's open, or midway, half close, half open, and these are the different parts of the tongue involved. And the lips also may be rounded when we say like ooh, okay, or aw. We round our lips in the production of the sound, or they could also be spread, unrounded, when we say e, for instance, completely spread, e. So these are the things that we use to describe vowels, and we'll take them one by one, okay? When we transcribe a vowel, you will see, for instance, this is oo, but there are two dots also. This is, the first one is short oo, for instance, oo, oo. And this would be with the colon indicates long vowel, oo, 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 okay? So the colon here indicates length of the vowel, that it is long. All right. So vowels thus can be classified according to the tongue. We are still on page 44, the tongue height in the mouth, as we said. If the tongue is high, okay, and very close to the roof of the mouth, or it is open down, okay, when we say ah, okay, or high, very e, very high, and or mid, as we said, half close or half open between these two positions, as in the or the schwa. Another thing we use is the tongue position in the mouth, as we said, the front part of the tongue, the back part of the tongue, or the central part of the tongue. This is, you can see this on page 45 at the top. Front, front vowel like E as in seen, back vowel as in oo, okay, pool, and central vowel in the middle, half closed and half open, central, not back, not front, like or schwa, central. So front, back, central. Another classification item is the position of the lips, as we said, or the shape of the lips. The lips could be rounded when we produce a vowel like oo, oo, completely rounded, ah, rounded, or unrounded when we say e or e. So we spread our lips, we don't round them. And we also want to see if the vowel is short, okay, or long vowel, or a diphthong. We'll see these in a minute, what they mean. Okay, so this distinction is important in the classification and description of vowels. The length of the vowel, short, long, or combination of two vowels, we call it diphthong, as you see it in the middle of page 45. Diphthong or diphthong, both pronunciations are correct. Okay, we begin with the short vowel. There are 7 short vowels in English, as you see in the middle of page 45. 7 short vowels in RP pronunciation. Look at the chart in the table. So you see the front part of the tongue, the central part of the tongue, and the back part of the tongue. Then you see 3 boxes. The first one is high, the second, the middle is the mid part of the tongue, and the low part of the tongue at the end. So for instance, the first vowel, which is front and high, is E. Short vowel is as in ship, E, ship. Mid vowel, front, E, as in head, set, met, wet. And front, low, as in a, hat, cat, mat, sat, etc. Central vowels, like a, we call this schwa. This is the weakest sound in English, a. Okay, schwa, schwa, a. Okay, central vowel, high in the central position. Okay, and a, as in cup, a, a, a. This is a, cup. Okay, back vowels, high, we say u, short. So these, remember, these are short vowels. U, foot, as in foot, cook, wood, etc. And a, sock, a little bit down, central. Okay, I'm sorry, mid. Sock, a, okay, caught, sought, not, etc. 5 long vowels in English. The next chart down, long vowels. What are these long vowels? Okay, in the front we have E. See again, as I told you, the column indicates its long vowel. E, as in sheep, seen, been, weak, etc. E, high. And then central, bird, bird, ger, word, etc. In the back, we have 3 long vowels, high, oo, cool, mood, oo, etc. Oo, and aw, mid, aw, horse, caught, saw, and down, low, okay, long vowel, farm, heart, heart. This is, remember, this is British English, RP pronunciation. There is a slight difference between British and American English, as you know, okay? We make sure we do all the activities and the exercises in the book, so you get more practice, you understand more, and you find it a lot easier as well. So you'll see activities, okay? At the end of page 45, activity 1. You could, as we said, we use the online websites to open these and to exercise. Then there is activity 2 as well at the top of page 46, vowel contrast, okay? And activity 3 also. Activity 4 at the end of the book, I'm sorry, of the page 46, minimal pairs. We'll see what minimal pairs means, and you know, just practice it. Okay, I'll say them with you first. I'll start with activity 2. So we have 10 minimal pairs. Remember, minimal pairs means one sound. We change one sound, then we get a new word and a new meaning. 10, be, bat, bet, bait, cat, caught. Okay, and the simplified IPA symbols, as you see them here, e, 10, e, a, bet, bat, A, bait, cat, cut, a, cat, cut, as you see. Okay, at the end of the page, 46, sheep, ship, you see the symbols, E, cat, car, a, cat, cart, cart, cut, cart, cut. On page 47 at the top, cut, Kurt, look, loop, look, loop, cart, okay, caught, okay, 7, caught, see the symbols, 7, 8, caught, cut, okay, like etc. So we looked at short vowels, 7 in English, 5 vowels that are long, so we have total of 12, right? Now on page 47 in the middle you see diphthongs, as we said, or diphthongs. Both pronunciations are correct. A diphthongs is a complex vowel. We start producing a vowel, then we move to produce another one, but the transition, the slide is not noticeable. Okay, for instance, when we say I, we begin with I, then we move to E, I, oi, O and E, oi. So such vowels are called diphthongs. Okay, so with one quality of a vowel at the beginning, and we end with another vowel which has different quality as well. There are 8 diphthongs in RP in English, received pronunciation in English. Look at the table, please, in the middle of page 47. Ia, as in near. Number 2, tour. Air, number 3, hair. I, as in my. Oi, as in toy. O, as in snow. Ow, now. A, say. Okay, so ear, air, I, oi, o, ow, a. Some of those differ in American English, okay, like O, okay, in American you say O, go, and RP, British, you say go, and so forth. So you make sure you do the exercise. This is the unit, very short unit, very informative, and we need to practice a lot because vowels need more practice than consonants because they are more difficult to produce. Okay, so let's go please to page 2 to look at the chart, the IPA chart of RP phonetic symbols that we are using in this course. So we said there are 24 consonant sounds, as you see in the table on page 2. Consonant sounds, 24, and the symbols as you see them. And I'm sure you have practiced a lot, as I told you. Okay, and the vowels, okay, and then the diphthongs. Vowels, okay, let's see in 25, E, as in sit. 26, E, as in see. 27, U, as in good. 28, U, as in food. 29, as in cup. 30, as in car. Remember the RP R sound at the end of a word or syllable is not pronounced. 31, not. 32, see the very back rounded, saw. 33, the weakest sound in English, schwa. Attack, 34, bird, in American English you say bird, right? You pronounce the r. 35, head, as in head. 36, as in cat. So these are short and long vowels, okay? How many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We said 7 short, 5 long. And the diphthongs are 8. 37, ia, near. 38, ua, tua. Again, they differ in American English, okay? In 37 in American English, say near, okay? But RP, ia, near. 38 in American English, tour. And RP, ua, tour. 39, I, both, I, in British and American. 40, oi, both, okay? Oi, toy. 41, o, snow, RP, snow in American English, so it's different. 42, air, hair, and RP, hair, and hair in American hair, like saying hair. 43, ow, both, ow, now. And 44, a, say. Okay, these are examples. So make sure, please, to open the online resources to practice a lot with vowels and consonants. Remember, the more we practice, the easier it gets. Okay. Now we have finished unit 4, and we'll now begin with unit 5. Remember, the midterm exam includes units 1 to 6, okay? So now we'll begin unit, okay, 5. We just finished unit 4. Okay. We'll go now, please, exercise 1 on page 47, true, false. Make sure you do it. And I told you the answers at the end, in the appendix at the end of the book. And try to, review the terms that are used in the unit. So unit 5 is phonology, okay? On page 49, phonology. Phonology, anybody can define phonology? Okay. Phonetics, we said phonetics is articulatory phonetics we covered, is concerned with how sounds are produced and classified. But phonology is sometimes called functional phonetics, and it tells us how these isolated sounds can be combined or merged into each other to produce words and utterances. Okay, so there are rules, of course. Rules, phonological rules. Remember, phonology is a noun, phonological or phonologic is an adjective, and the person specialized in phonology is a phonologist. So the language has phonological rules that tell us how sounds can be combined or merged into each other to make words and utterances. So the phonological rules in English tell us how these 44 phonemes in English can be combined and merged in a large number of words and that are used in the dictionaries. Okay, we are still on page 49, phonemic analysis. We make a distinction between phonemes and allophones. Phonemes, we now know what a phoneme is, and allophone. Phoneme is a significant sound. If we change, we said the sound in the word, and we replace it with another sound, if it changes the word or the meaning, then it is a phoneme or a significant sound. The allophone doesn't change the meaning or the word. So allophone or allophones are varieties or variations of the phoneme. Okay, so when we do transcription, when we use the symbol to transcribe words, we use in our course now phonemic transcription. We use the slanted lines and we write the symbols here without details. when we use like details of, like when we use allophones to indicate details of the phonemes transcription, we use different symbols. So, but we are using this one, which is called the phonemic transcription. We transcribe only the phonemes, the consonants, and the vowels that we learned in RP to, for instance, the word sit. So sit. So this is called phonemic transcription. Okay. Let's check on page 50 at the top. Okay, you'll see phonemes and allophones. Phonemes are meaningful units, as we said. Okay. They are relatively small. Allophones are varieties of the phonemes. Okay, phonemic and phonetic transcription, as I said, there is a distinction here. To show you an example of this, if we say the word little, okay, you notice that the l here is different from the l here at the end. The beginning l is little, little. This is called clear L. Clear, and this L is called dark. Little. So little. Nobody says little, right? So clear L and dark L. These are two allophones, varieties or variations of the same phoneme, which is L. So clear L and dark L are allophones of the same phoneme, one at the beginning, one at the end. Okay, so they don't change the meaning or the word, whether you say little or little, it's still little, right? So there is no change of meaning, or you don't change the word. So when we do phonetic transcription, we indicate that we use these symbols here to indicate phonetic transcription. Then we indicate that this is clear L and this is dark L as well. So what is the rule for dark and clear L? In the middle of page 50, you'll see two dashes. The clear L is heard before vowels, okay, before vowels, including word initial position or in the middle position, okay. Dark L is heard before consonants, and in word final position, as you see at the end of a word, okay. Animal, for instance, little animal, it is dark. So this is the rule. Dark L, clear L. These are, as we said again, allophones of the same phoneme, which is L, but they don't change the meaning or the word. Okay, make sure you do the questions, and I'm sorry, here, the question and the answer to it. Minimal pairs, we go back to it. So when phoneticians want to describe the sounds of the language, they, go through a process which uses a pair of words. The pair of words differ only in one single sound, as we saw in the units 3 and 4 in consonants and vowels. If this sound changes the word and the meaning, then it is called a phoneme significance sound. Therefore, these are pairs that are only different in one single phoneme. These are called minimal pairs because it's only one sound. Okay, if you look at the examples at the end of page 50, for instance, M, if we change, if we have like sight or might, you are changing one sound. I, you keep it. You change the first phoneme, you get might, kite, height, white. You keep the last two sounds or phonemes the same, it, and then you change the first phoneme, you get about 9 different phonemes in English, because each one gives you a new word. These are minimal pairs. We are now on page 51. Okay, so minimal pairs. So as you see, bite, right, tight, night, height, and light. Okay, so these are different phonemes. So make sure you please you do exercise 1, exercise 2, exercise 3 on page 52, and check your answers when you are finished in the appendix. Okay? Now we are on page 52, section 3, assimilation and other phenomena. In the study of phonology, there are, we said, phonological rules that tell us how sounds can combine and merge into each other to make words, and the changes these sounds take place and they make in this process. One of this phonological process is the assimilation process. Sounds, as you know, when we speak, sounds change their quality, their features, phonetic and phonological features, because of the surrounding sounds. This means the sounds that come before a sound or that follows it affects its quality. It influences its quality and the way it is produced. This kind of influence between surrounding sounds is called assimilation, and the process is assimilation process or assimilation. Assimilatory as an adjective aspect of the sound. Now, the websites here and the BBC, make sure you check this, and you have a lot of pronunciation tips and also practice. We are on the same page, 52, linking R 3.2 rule, and a phonological rule. In the British English, as you know, when the R sound comes at the end of the word, it's not sounded, it's not pronounced. So they say ka, letter, right? So the R is not sounded or not pronounced, but this is the rule. It's when the following word begins with a vowel, then this R is pronounced. Okay, if you say the letter in the box, the letter in the box, then this R is pronounced because it is followed by in. Okay, letter. So letter by itself, but now this follows, the vowel follows, see, then it is sounded. The letter in, okay? Higher up, higher by itself, higher, no, not sounded in RP, higher. But when we say higher up, this is a vowel, then this sound, and this is called linking R, means when it is followed by vowel, then it is, excuse me, pronounced. Sometimes, next page, page 53, even if there is no vowel following the R sound, some speakers in RP insert what is called intrusive, inserted R sound. For instance, something like idea of, they put the R sound here. Idea of, you could hear it as such, especially in fast speech. Idea of, or Asian of Africa. So the R here is sounded. Asian or Africa, and Africa, because this is, you might not hear it much, but if you like pay a lot of attention in detailed speech and fast speech, you could hear it. Another phonological aspect in English is what is called aspiration, on page 53 in section 3.4. Aspiration, and this the puff of the air when you say a sound, especially with the voiceless plosive. Remember, voiceless plosive are p, t, and k. So when these are used at the beginning of the word or the beginning of a stressed syllable means strong syllable at the beginning of the word or in the middle, these plosive voiceless sounds are aspirated, means there is a puff of the air. If we are doing phonetic transcription, for instance, using this, and we want to indicate aspiration for p, so we use little h. So h means h. So this is the puff of the air coming, the burst of air on the p or t or k in these positions at the beginning or in the beginning of a stress syllable is called aspiration. So in phonetic transcription, we indicate the aspiration by putting a little h letter at the top of the sound. So this is phonetic. But in phonemic transcription, we don't use it. So we say, okay, for instance, peep, peep, okay. So this should be aspirated, but in phonemic transcription, no need to indicate this detail. So the rule, as you see it in the middle, okay, on the bullet point, a voiceless plosive k, p, or t is pronounced with the following puff of air when it is used at the beginning of a stressed syllable and before a vowel. Okay, stressed syllable at the beginning of a word or the beginning of a stressed syllable in the middle of the word. Make sure, please, to do exercise 4 as well, and you open the BBC Learning on the website for activities and exercises. Another aspect of phonology in English is section 5 on page 53, consonant clusters and syllable structure. Cluster means a group of sounds here, consonant clusters. The phonological rules in the system tell us which sounds are possible to combine with other sounds at the beginning, in the middle, at the end, how many, which one with which, and so forth. So this is a phonological rule. As you see, in English, for instance, this is not a possible combination at the beginning of a word, right, of consonant cluster. Is this possible at the beginning? No, not even at the end, right? So the phonological system in English doesn't allow this consonant cluster grouping to occur at the middle or in the middle or at the end of a word. Let's see what the rules say here. On page 54, two consonants at the beginning of the word or initial position at the beginning of a word. You see the possibilities. We have 11 possibilities in English. The S, S plus P, T, K, etc. as in, so spare, SP, ST, steam, SK, sky, SF, sphere, smile, sneer, S, one consonant, another consonant, right? No vowel in between. Second one, T combines with R or W or Y. Okay, trim, twin, tune. K combines at the beginning. Remember, we are talking about two consonant clusters, two. Okay, plus L, R, W or Y, as in Clive, crime, queen, Q. B combines with L, R, and Y, as in blame, bright, beautiful. D, and number 5, combines with R, W, Y, as in dry, dwell, etc. So you have 11 possibilities. Now, 3 consonant clusters at the beginning, not as many as 2 consonants. We have SP, R, okay, spray, spread, very common one, very combination, very well-known combination, widely spread in English. Ester, again, another. So as you see in these examples, the first consonant is always S. Okay, S, B, S, T, S, K, S, Y, and T. All right, the third one, the third consonant in this cluster is R, or Y, as we said, L, and W. Okay, the last one, squad, square, squash, and the previous one, L, splash, splendid, and split, and so forth. Word medial position, we have like est, k, st, f, ch, okay, as like exchange, and the cluster in the middle, k, st, and r, as extract, extract, and so forth. Word final position here, sp and l, z, okay, and like fields at the end, you have l, d, and z, fields. What's the Okay, I'll ask you one at the end of this class to think of a word that has one syllable only. So this is something part of the phonological system of the language to tell us which sounds, a cluster of sound consonants are possible at the beginning, in the middle, at the end, and how many they can be together without intervening vowels. At the end of page 54, talk about syllable structure. Okay, remember we said the vowel is the nucleus of the syllable, means the heart and the core of the syllable. So a syllable must have a single vowel. A syllable must have a single vowel, and sometimes one or more consonants before and after it. Okay, then if we have one vowel in the word, we say this is, or in the syllable, we say one syllable, one vowel. Okay. What's the syllable structure here? We are now on page 55. Okay. 55. As we said, the minimal syllable is the one that has only one vowel. So what about something like this? I. This is one syllable, right? Because it is a vowel, one vowel, nothing else. So this is I, or something like that. I. So one vowel, one syllable. Okay, this is again I, the same. I, one vowel, one syllable. Okay, so there is E, Y, E, but it is only I, right? This is phonemic transcription. I, one syllable, one vowel. Or could be a vowel, remember, or could be a diphthong. I, oi. Okay, could be short vowel, long vowel, or a diphthong that makes a minimal syllable. Okay. Make sure you do a question on page 55 in the middle. Okay, there. What's a syllabic rule? What's a syllabic rule? You can see in the middle of page 55, rule when an alveolar, like we said, some consonants like, you know, l and t and d, followed by alveolar, l and n. In the middle, we are in the middle of the page. They make a syllable. Okay, when we see something like little, little. So we have here t, and then followed by l at the end. There is no vowel in between. Therefore, we say little. This l, this the consonant here. There is no vowel, but it makes a syllable by itself. We call it syllabic. Syllabic. So when there is t, or d followed by l, okay, l or d at the end of the word, we call it syllabical. Look at the rule. What does it say in the middle? Rule: when an alveolar stop, which is t or d, is followed by an alveolar lateral l, or an alveolar nasal n, and occur at the end of a word, they make up a syllabic consonant, a syllable by itself. Okay? As we said, little, cotton, middle, and so forth. Another distinction when we talk about syllable between what is called open syllable, and closed syllable. What does that mean? Okay, look in the middle of the page again, another rule. When a syllable consists of a vowel or a diphthong preceded and followed by one or more consonants on each side, it is termed closed. This means if you have consonants before the vowel or after the vowel, in one vowel, of course, talking about one vowel, we call this syllable is closed. closed syllable, means on both sides, closed by consonants. An open syllable is the vocalic sound has one or more consonants on one side only. So look at the examples, not both sides, only. So the vowel is open from one side, from the beginning or from the end, means there are no consonants before it or after it. Look at the bullet points. Examples in the first one show us closed syllables: bed, C, C for consonant, V for vowel, C, V, C. Trim, so we have two consonants, T, R, and I is a vowel, M is consonant, trim, okay. C, C, V, C means consonant, consonant, vowel, consonant. So it is closed because there are consonants before the vowel and one consonant after. Test, another closed syllable, consonant, vowel, consonant, consonant. Open syllable in the second bullet point, way, w, vowel, consonant, and A is a diphthong vowel. So this is open. There are no consonants after the V. Cry, okay. Cry, C, C, V means consonant, consonant, vowel. C is a consonant, R is a consonant, Y is vowel. Up, there is no vowel between A, so vowel, no consonant before the A. Up, it's open, so all these are open syllables. And then act, no consonant before the vowel, A, vowel, consonant, consonant, act. Okay. Now, if a word has one syllable, we call it monosyllabic word. Mono means one, syllabic word. If there are like two, we call it disyllabic word. Disyllabic word, a word consisting of two syllables, disyllabic word. And if the word consists of more than two, we call it multisyllabic words, like international, for instance. Multisyllabic means more than two, three, four, five, or six, etc. Multisyllabic words. Monosyllabic word, disyllabic word, two syllables, and multisyllabic word means more than two. So we need to practice again. As you see, you have all the online resources for you to open and check, and practice, please, as much as you can. And make sure you do exercise 5 at the end of page 55. Okay. So again, practice makes perfect. Without practice, you will not understand much. The more you practice and transcribe vowels and consonants and words, you could use your dictionary, use the exercises and the activities on the online resources, check them all, as I said, or you could use any website or resource you like that you feel comfortable with, and just make sure that you practice a lot. Okay, again, the answers for these exercises in the book are at the end of the book in the appendix. Okay, by this we finish unit 5. It is also short and easy, but with practice it is a lot easier, right? Okay, I'll just pause here for a second and then we resume with unit 6, which also is included in the midterm exam. So the midterm exam includes 6 units, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and the final exams does not include these units. So the final exam includes unit 7 to the end, okay? And we don't know yet about the quizzes. We'll let you know what we are gonna do with the quizzes in due time, okay? All right, we'll stop here and then we'll resume with unit 6, please. Okay, hello again. Now we begin unit 6 on page 57, page 57, unit 6, prosody or prosody. And this is the name of the speech elements of stress, rhythm, and intonation. What are the speech elements when we talk, when we speak? So prosody is like the music of what we say. When we speak, we have music. Stress, what are the elements of speech? Stress, rhythm, and intonation. Intonation. Okay? We'll see what they are in this unit and how they affect our speech. In the United States, prosody is sometimes referred to as the suprasegmental features. You'll see it in the middle of page under introduction. Suprasegmental features means beyond the sound segment, beyond the phoneme. So these affect syllables and utterances and so forth. Okay, not just single sounds. These refer to our spoken forms of language. They represent our feelings sometimes and attitudes and so forth. They are closely related and connected with how we feel and our attitudes when we speak with others, and we'll see how. Let's begin with stress. On page 57, number 2, stress. Here, let's first define stress. Stress is the energy, the breath energy or force that is exerted on a single syllable, okay? So stress is the breath of air, the force of air that is placed on a single syllable. And in transcription, phonetic transcription or phonemic transcription, we use this symbol, for instance, at the top of the sound to represent stress. Sometimes at the beginning in some dictionaries, and sometimes they put it in here or here. So this notation at the top indicates stress. We talk about the primary stress or the main stress of the word or the syllable, okay? So we'll make a distinction between word stress, each word, and sentence stress or connected speech. This is connected speech when connected speech. Okay. Now we are on page 58. Let's begin with word stress. As we said, you'll see under word stress at the top of page 58, word stress may be defined as the degree of breath, force, placed on each syllable. So it's a feature of a syllable, not a single sound or phoneme. So stress is not a feature of one consonant or one vowel. It's the syllable, the whole syllable. Could be 2 or 3 consonants, one vowel, one vowel only, or could be one vowel, one consonant, 2 consonants, one vowel. It's a syllable, whatever a syllable is. So strong stress or primary stress, as we said, represented by this notation. You'll see it in the dictionaries when you open the dictionary. So stress syllables usually are higher in pitch and louder. You hear them say, for instance, you could tap your finger like this to indicate this, okay? Higher in pitch and louder as well. So this is primary stress or main stress of the word. There are also degrees of stress. Secondary stress, second after primary stress or the main stress, and usually it is indicated in notation by like at the bottom of the sound, any sound, okay? at the bottom of the sound. This is secondary stress, this is primary stress, okay, or main stress at the top. Okay, usually the number of stresses indicate the number of syllables. Okay, so you see how many syllables there are, therefore there are how many stresses. Okay, when we speak, we usually don't stress weak sounds. Okay, unstressed syllables are not marked. Okay, the number of stressed syllables in a word correspond to the number of words and I'm sorry, the number of vowels and diphthongs. Vowels, we said again, could be short, could be long, or a diphthong, which is a complex vowel. Okay. You might ask, are there any rules in English that are really easy to follow and understand to identify word stress? There are some, but they are not 100% accurate. Okay, they are like 75, 80% accurate in terms of, there are exceptions to these rules. Let's see on page 58, the following are some word stress rules. In number 1, as you see, when we have like nouns and adjectives consisting of two syllables that are nouns or adjectives, the rule usually is we stress the first syllable. So the first rule is placed on the first syllable of most nouns, and most, not all, as I said, 75% or 4 out of 5 or etc. And adjectives. Examples: absence. See the notation absence, and the adjective is absent. Object at the beginning, see object. Cyprus, India. See the force is at the beginning of the word on the first syllable. In India. Cyprus. Object. Absence. Adjectives: absent. Win. This is the syllable win. Windy. Careful. Care. Syllable, the first syllable. Final. So as you see, each one is 2 syllables. Look, there is a, notice a dot. We usually dot is used to indicate syllable boundary, the end and the beginning of a syllable. Okay, so a word consisting of 3 syllables, you will have 3 dots like this: syllable, syllable, syllable. So we use dot to indicate the syllable boundary, the beginning and the end of the syllable. Another rule, number 2, the majority of verbs now, consisting again of 2 syllables, are stressed on the last one. So verbs on the second 2 syllables, that means second syllable, the last syllable is stressed. Let's have some examples like record. Re is the first syllable, the second syllable is cord, that's the one that is stressed. Record. Second example, ik. The first syllable is not stressed. The second one is accept. Example 3, not stressed. Stressed the second. Test, protest. Number 4, report. Again, record, accept, protest, report. See the fourth of the breath is on the second syllable. Rule number 3 is placed on the second from the last in words that end in these suffixes or endings. If any word ends in shin, okay, ik. Shin, like this, suffix ending, or this, or double S. Okay, shin, ik. and iti. Okay, if the word ends in any of these endings, suffixes, usually the syllable before it, here is stressed. X here for a syllable, stressed. Okay, examples. Magic, magic, see ik, see magic, the first syllable here is stressed. And syntactic, fantastic, fantastic, semantic, semantic, see tick. The last syllable, which is suffix, is not stressed. The stress is on the one before it. See, seman, see the little note at the top here, semantic. Okay, next, we are at the end of page now 58. Division, division, shin or jin. Provision, second, okay, before the ision. Exhibition, before shin is the one that is stressed. Exhibition. And revision. Okay, so the rule, again, this is not 100% the case. It is majority of cases, like, you know, when we have suffixes like these, you check the word if it ends in any of these endings or suffixes, and then the syllable that comes before it, is the one that is mainly stressed, or has the primary stress or the strongest stress. Sometimes in English we have the same word, but it has two different stresses because of the word class it belongs to. If it is a noun or a verb, there is a change in stress. Let's see on page 59 at the top, page 59. So we have a word, and as a verb and as a noun. Notice the difference. What do you notice? The difference between verb and noun. There is a difference in the placement of the stress and also the vowel. So the word is, if it is a verb, we say contract, see can, with the schwa, and the stress is on the second syllable, contract. But if it is a noun, we say contract. Contract. The first syllable is stressed. Contract. The second example, object as a verb. This is weak, not stressed. This primary stress on the second syllable. Object. As a noun, object. See, the vowel differs as well. As a noun, object. And as a verb, object, because it's not stressed. Third, protest, protest. Second, as a noun, protest. The last one, consort. See the vowel, schwa, consort. As a noun, consort. Consort. The stress is on the first syllable. So there is a change. So stress is connected with word class. So this is something grammatical in English. The importance of stress here is grammatical. It makes a distinction between word classes. In the second example, the second table in the middle, what's the difference here? Can you tell me the difference? We are still on page 59 between a verb and a noun. Yes, there is a difference in the placement of the stress, but the vowel is the same. No change in the vowel quality between a verb and a noun. Import, same vowels, but different placement of the test. Insult as a verb, insult as a noun. Discount, verb. Discount, noun. Increase, verb. Increase. Same vowel but different placement of the test of the stress. Incense, incense. Okay, let's say them again. Import, import. Insult, insult. Discount, discount. Increase, increase. Incense, incense. Okay, back to the first table, same page at the top again. Contract as a verb, contract, contract now. Contract, contract. Object, object. Protest, protest. Consort, consort. And there are many other examples. When you practice and you open the online resources, you'll see a lot of examples like this. Now, all of this is related to what? Word stress. We move to on same page 59, sentence stress, or when we use connected speech. Of course, we don't always use words, right? We don't communicate just using words. We use words, phrases, sentences, utterances, and so forth. Now, the question is, what's the stress element here? How is it? How is it used? And which words should we stress, or you speakers usually stress, and how? Let's check. A general rule in English is that we stress what is called the content words. Content words or lexical words. Content or lexical words. What are these? What are these words? They are nouns, right? Usually in a sentence, we stress nouns, adjectives, main verbs, lexical verbs, main verbs or lexical verbs, and also adverbs. So these are called content words or lexical words. Usually these are the words in the sentence that carry the focus, the primary stress or the main stress. Function words, the rest of the words are called function words or grammatical words. They are usually not stressed, like, articles, pronouns, and, prepositions and auxiliaries and so forth. Usually are not stressed in the sentence. The articles, as we said, and so forth. So if you look at the table at the end of page 59, you have a word and then the strong form of the word and the weak form. So the function words are characterized by weak vowels. Usually you don't hear them sometimes, and especially in connected fast speech. Okay, you don't hear the vowels and they are very weakened. So but is strong, but is weak, right? In our connected speech we weaken it, we make it not as strong. I can go anytime. Yes, you can. This is strong. Could, okay. Was, must. So the vowel here is reduced in quality in connected speech. This continues on page 60 at the top. Okay, you'll see a lot of the words. Some you usually use the schwa or short u or short e. So the strong vowel in these words is reduced to schwa. Remember the schwa. So in the weak forms, the vowel usually is a schwa or e, short e, or u, short u. So they become very weak. These are weak sounds, short vowels in English. Okay. Again, the same thing applies in the second table on the same page, 60. Okay, be, he, this is what happens when we speak fast, and in our connected speech we merge words, as function words are reduced. Usually unstressed syllables are not counted and not heard. Okay, another feature related to pronunciation of sounds and omission of sounds is called elision. Okay, uh, this is especially clear and of course in connected speech. So this is defined as the omission of final sound or initial sound across the word boundaries at the beginning or at the end of the word, the same word, especially when we have t and t in English, t and when they are in the middle, they are not sounded. Let's see examples here. At the top of page 61, best man, best, it ends in t, and another one begins with m, best man, best man. See, you could just say best, you could hear it in connected speech, especially fast speech, as best man, my best man, not best man, best man. Old, old farm, instead of saying old farm, which is the full form, old farm. And elision, and then the same word, postman, and the same word, postman, 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 postman. You could hear it as postman, just postman. The t is not pronounced. Or windmill, 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 windmill. Usually the d is omitted. Okay, so this is called elision, the technical term in phonology, and it is not sounded. Okay. Of course, you come across a lot of this when you hear to native speakers speak fast on radio, TV, etc. So make sure you, in activity one, they ask you to practice this using the BBC Learning English website. Please make sure you do that. On page 61, sentence focus. So when we speak, if you want to draw attention to the attention of this listener to one word rather than another for meaning, to make it focused, so you could use more stress, right? For contrast to extra stress focus. If you say John found the key, usually when you say it regularly in normal conditions, you stress John, you stress found, and you stress key. But sometimes if we say John found the key, so this is extra focus or extra stress on John for focus. John, not somebody else, found the key. When you say John found the key, rather than made the key or lost the key, so John found the key as opposed to something else. Or you could just say John found the key. So extra stress, the key, not the handle, not the knife or whatever. So this is good for contrast. Okay. Make sure you do. This is called sentence focus, to contrast it with something else. Make sure you do exercise 1, please, and exercise 2 at the end of page 61. Exercise 3 and exercise 4 on page 62. Okay, now we move to section 3. Not it's written 4, but it should be 3 on page 62. Rhythm and intonation. Remember, the speech elements are what? Stress, rhythm, and intonation. We just checked stress, word stress, and sentence stress or connected speech. Now we move to rhythm and intonation. What's the rhythm in the language? It's the regular pattern of stress beats. When we speak, we have stress on certain syllables, so the alternating stress beats on words and syllables is called the rhythm. Okay, iqa, the iqa, or the music of our repetition of stressed and unstressed syllables. Okay, this is called rhythm, and the adjective is rhythmic. Especially especially in poetry, when you recite poetry and read poems and so forth, your reading should really show the rhythm of this speech features of stressed, unstressed syllables, especially in English, okay? Um, English is called stress-timed, English is called stress-timed language. What does that mean? The rhythm of English is created by the repetition of stressed and unstressed syllable, okay? So the time it takes a speaker to move from one stressed syllable to another stressed syllable, regardless of how many unstressed syllables in between, is called stress-timed language. It's the same amount of time it takes, for instance, a speaker to, if there is a sentence that has, let's say, 10 syllables, 10 syllables, and another one, 10 syllables, but only these are the ones that are stressed. Okay, 4 stresses. So, but another line or another sentence has a fewer number of syllables, but it has the same number of stressed syllables. So the amount of time the speaker says this is the same amount of time, regardless of how many unstressed syllables between the stressed ones. See, so unstressed, stressed, unstressed, unstressed, stressed, unstressed, unstressed, stressed, unstressed, stressed. The same amount of time saying this and saying this, regardless of, as I said, the number of the unstressed syllables between the stressed ones. It's the same amount of time, and that's how it is called the stress time language. Okay, you can see this 2 examples at the end of page, I'm sorry, at the top of page 63. And now you have also exercise 5 at the top for intonation. Okay, which words should be stressed. Usually exercise 5, I mean, you have a sentence and they ask you to stress it, means sentence focus, remember, sentence focus. You stress the content words or the lexical words, nouns, adjectives, adverbs, main verbs, lexical verbs, and nothing else. The other function words usually are not stressed unless you want to stress them for focus, for attention, and so forth. Okay, now we come to intonation, the last speech element here on page 63. Intonation in the language, or now in English, is the music of what we say, the ups and downs of the rising and the falling of the pitch of our voice when we speak. And also it is important in English because it has grammatical functions as well, making distinctions between different types of words and sentences and so forth. And of course they have personal and emotional attitude for the speaker, and depending on the situation and the speaker and the listener that are involved in the communication and the dialogue. Okay, so they carry different feelings and attitudes in a speech with just changing the pitch of your voice from high and low. Usually we distinguish between falling tone, rising tone, falling, rising tones. These are primary tones and so forth. Okay. So usually when you say something as a statement, you have a falling tone. She is good. So good here, falling tone. But when you use it with a rising tone, you say she's good. The same statement, but you raise your tone, the pitch of your voice. You say she's good. You raise it in, it becomes a question, right? Does he have a book? Does she speak English well? So rising intonation indicates a question. Falling tone, the pitch of your voice falls. This is called a falling tone on a statement. Okay. Sometimes the falling tone indicates satisfaction, and appreciation, and falling and rising at the same time, disbelieving attitude. When you say, how are you? I'm fine. I'm fine. This is satisfaction. Falling pitch, fine. Fine. So you say fine, and so forth. You could use extra high tones for, like surprise or shock and so forth. Really? Or amazement, etc. Extremely hot. So for an intense. So a lot of different meanings and attitudes connected with different tones and shades of meaning as well. We are still on page 63 in the middle. As you read, personal attitudes, okay, are frequently mirrored by the intonation contour, the intonation, like, movement, or the pitch of the voice, the attitude of the speaker who says, etc. Go down a little bit. The basic unit of intonation, the unit that is used, is called, as we said, the basic unit of stress is the syllable, but the basic unit of intonation is called the tone unit. Tone unit. Tone unit. Also called the intonation unit. You could call it intonation unit or tone group. So tone unit, tone group, same thing in different books. Intonation group, intonation unit. Okay. And each one has corresponds to a unit of intonation or information, like a phrase, a clause. So when you say, when I see you again, I'll talk to you. We pause a little bit, so we have two groups here, intonation groups, okay? Usually connected with a phrase, each group. The information group connected with a phrase or clause. It has its own tone. Or so intonation groups at the end of page 63. Intonation group usually corresponds to a clause or phrase. I said this means that the boundary, we pause a little bit when we say, when the wind blows, we pause a little bit, the birds will fly away, and things like that. Okay, intonation group is usually the boundary of a clause. Each group is normally marked by this marker, okay? So tone group, intonation group are the same. The heart and core of the intonation group is called the nuclear tone, or the nucleus, as the vowel is the nucleus of the syllable. The nucleus of the syllable. The nucleus, the core of the intonation group or tone group is called, again, the nuclear tone. Look at the examples at the end of page 63. Okay, when you say, what are you reading? So you have one clause here with the rising tone, means it's a question. What are you reading? What are you reading? It's a rising tone. But check next page, 64. What, if you divide it into two information groups, two tone groups, what are you reading? So what here has its own intonation contour or pattern. What? See, surprise. Are you reading? He's disbelieving this. What? Are you reading? So we have two intonation groups because they have two nuclear tones. Each one has its own nuclear tones. So make sure, please, to finish with exercise 6, exercise 7, and exercise 8. Then you could exercise 10 on page 65. Again, the answers are in the appendix at the end of the book. And this is our first video class with no students, no interaction. It's hard, but I hope you benefit from this. And I want you to study hard, to open the online resources, to practice as much as possible, activities, exercises. Remember always, the more we practice, the easier it is. And I wish you the best of luck, and stay safe. And we'll hold discussions on the big blue button on the LMS for discussions of these units. And this is the material now. We covered all the material that is included in the midterm exam. Again, units 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then after that, the units 7 to the end will be included in the final. So 1 to 6 are not included in the final. Our midterm and final exams are online, okay? You know that. Thank you very much and study hard. Okay, bye-bye.